let's wait for more people to join in. I'll take you through the idea of why I've started this channel, and also we have got some new coffees here with us. So we're going to unbox this live, see how my unboxing is. We won't be cupping the coffees for sure because it's a bit too much to do on live, but yeah, more or less, the goal here is to try the new coffee. So, being my first live, pardon me if I make any mistakes, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the coffee journey that we take you through today, and it would be fun to see how this coffee tastes. So, maybe a minute more, and then we'll go into the first thing that I wanted to speak about today, that is why have I started this YouTube channel. uh, you guys might be wondering, is this another product review channel when it comes to coffee products, and is it another what do you say, coffee review channel, or how to make multiple coffees at home. So in some time I'm going to tell you what thoughts I had before I started this channel, and this is something not that has been done impromptu. My friends who after me for doing this quite some time now, um, not to say but more than 2 years they have been trying to get me on YouTube, but I was being very very reluctant to do that, and finally in this year I've gathered the courage to do it. So let's see how it goes, how we can bring a difference, a change, and what we are about to do. And yes, we have almost got a minute with us now. So yeah, the reason behind starting this specific channel was to, the foremost reason that I wanted to uh, come up with was making coffee simple and accessible. Because when I started myself as a coffee lover, I couldn't find a place where I could ask questions and not feel stupid. So that is one of the reasons I started feeling that we just don't need another channel that tells you about what coffees to drink or what products to buy, but how can I simplify your entrance or your leap into the world of coffee. So that is one of the foremost reason why I actually started this YouTube channel. And the second thing is that this platform should be for those people who are not coffee professionals. So I don't know right now, but I won't be reviewing any expensive equipment that we don't even find in India. Rather, I would want to make this a little more accessible to people who want to jump into coffee and are skeptical where to start. So the tutorials I intend to build, or the content I intend to create, is with the sole purpose that someone who is looking to enter coffee industry should not have any issues. They should get what they are looking for. Very very simple things like French press. Everyone knows a French press. They have seen it in some of the other Netflix movies, but when it comes to using one of these tools, it becomes a little complicated for everyone. How do you get to it? When you YouTube saying how to make French press, you get multiple recipes talking about higher extraction, higher solubility, higher flavor notes, the saltiness, the sourness, the bitterness, how to get the maximum sweetness out of your coffee. But I would want to put out how to make your life simple and how can you stay consistent towards making your cup of coffee. So, with this intention, the Anabolic Coffee channel has been started somewhere around 1.5 week ago, and this is my first YouTube live, and I intend to do more of these uh, when and time permits me. If you want any specific date and time to be considered for the YouTube live, when you guys are more comfortable tuning in and joining us with whatever discussion topics that we have, so then I would want you all to just hit in the comment below that your suitable preference date and time, and what the majority says, we would like to come online on those specific days. So yeah, that's for it today, as in the introduction. Now let's get into what we are here really for, that is the coffee unboxing. So I've got a very interesting coffee here from Hyderabad. uh, Giving you an idea first where this coffee originates from is from Scotforth Estate, Yerkod, and this coffee is something that has really caught my eye in terms of few things that I would want to talk when we go deep into this. But let's start by opening the box. Again, this coffee is currently not for sale. We are trying to refine this better. We are trying to get a better product or a more refined product for you all. So this is a sort of pre-launch tasting that we are doing, so that if there are any issues, if there are any problems in the coffee, if there are any, then we can eliminate them right now, so that when you as consumers consume this coffee, it is flawless and it is something that gives you the experience that you're looking for. So let's just quickly open this box. I like to keep my multi-tool handy for all these things. So if my voice is a little dodgy, a little hollow, that is because I'm not keeping well. I'm suffering from a bit of cough and cold. So it can be a lot of things that go wrong into this specific life. But again, guys, the whole purpose is not to create refined videos, but to create something that you would feel as your own, as in you should be able to connect to this channel on a more personal level than a professional or a creative method. Yeah, so here it is, the first look of how things might be in the box. Oh my god, that's too bright. Okay, let's leave it apart for now. So we have got a box. Again, this is not the final packing that we intend to give you, but again, this is roasted by my dear friend from Hyderabad, the owner of 24 Coffee, that is Naman. And funniest part is, we were there in Bangalore for our coffee sensory exam, and that's when I met this young guy. Saying young, we are of the same age, I guess, but really enthusiastic about roasting coffees. So we decided that we should work together in some or the other way, if not commercially, but at least in terms of appreciating good coffees. So this is the first outcome of those thought process, and it is something I really am interested in trying. But before that, I have to be really snobby about this coffee. So let me just get my trays out. So first, what I would want to do is I would want to check if the coffee is free of any defects. If there are any, I would want to pick them and keep them aside, so that I give him the correct review of this coffee. I know this live can be a little longer, but trust me guys, this is what I do in my life day in day out. So sort of a sneak peek into how my mornings look like, or I would rather say what my profession looks like. So this is a bean tray, slightly shiny for y'all on the camera. Let me just try to adjust it. I would never prefer to use a warm light to check my coffees. So here is my trustworthy white light. So again, this can be a little bright for you, but from my visual experience, I can notice any defects if there are any and sort them out immediately. Oops. So let's do it. Let's take out some coffee. Let's pour it. I'm going to do this in small batches, just to make sure I have the brew worthy coffee enough, because I really don't want to pick out all the coffees right now. But first thing, what I'm looking for is any pale coffees, which we call as Quakers. These are the low density coffees that can yield some really bad flavor to your coffee. So let me just adjust this so that you guys can see what I am doing. Yeah. So it's not bad to have these coffees, but these beans, but I would prefer them not to end in my cup when I want to really enjoy the quality that the roaster has to offer. Again, this is something not only decides the quality of coffee, but it's good to sort it off beforehand. And I'll just pick up a few more. These are distinctively visible light coffees. So, if you can, from any coffee bag, sort them out. I would want you all to do it for the sake of making the cup a bit more cleaner, a bit more, I would say, uh, uniform would be the right word. I will just pull this off. So, yeah, I think this should also do the job. I'm looking for any burnt coffees or any chips, cuts, or any small bits that can create a bad influence into my cup. I'm not going very snobbish about this, I'm not going very technical. It is just a visual sorting that we have to do. Yep, I think yeah, that's about it. I don't want to remove any more coffees from this. So I'll keep this aside. Now the main part is I have to dose my coffee. So what I always prefer is to cup my coffee. The cupping is a way of tasting coffees that brings in more uniformity when we have to communicate the coffee with each other. So cupping is a complete immersion method that we use to taste the coffee so that when I am drinking it here and my roaster is drinking it at his place, the coffee brewing technique doesn't change. But again, I feel it's way too early for expecting all my consumers, all my customers to cup their coffee beforehand. Though I would love if they start doing. So I would want it to happen in a way that my consumers are tasting it. We have sent out a few samples also. So I have yet to get feedbacks about them. But whenever we send coffees to any brewers, home brewers, or baristas, they don't cup the coffees, they directly brew it. So that is exactly what I am going to do with today's coffee. Okay, so I'm going to brew this in a V60, which is the classic method that everyone tries to brew their coffee. Uh, I'm going to take 15 grams of coffee to 300 grams of total water poured on the coffee bed and just see how the coffee tastes. I usually prefer to keep it very simple and replicable. So it's always a 60 grams pour as a bloom and rest of the total volume of the expected liquid is poured single-handedly directly. Again, there are debatable ways of saying that this coffee or this brewing method has a lot of flaws. That's fine, but there are many things that we can't really as professionals do and expect our clients or our baristas to do it. So I would like to keep it a little raw so that whenever my people are tasting the coffees, I can understand what is happening, what they are thinking about. Because if I cup the coffee, if I brew it in a pour over, it's going to taste different. So I am definitely going to cup this coffee, but for now, for this specific live, I am going to brew this as a pour over. Uh, Again, giving you the brewing parameters, that would be 15 grams of coffee to 300 grams of water with a 60 grams bloom. So it would be 60 grams first initially going, allowing the coffee to breathe for a minute, and the rest of the water goes in later as the final volume water, and the cup would be ready. I prefer to drink those in the origami sensory glasses for one simple reason. I want the aromas to be concentrated so that I know what the coffee is offering. Again, this is very, very optional. You can either choose a sensory glass, or you can go for wine glass, or you can just have a simple plain cup. So for today, what I'm going to do is let's drink the coffee in one in sensory glass and one in a normal cup, and see what's the difference. And let's just try it out, because coffee is all about exploring and not about being very, very fine into the skill. I always say that coffee is not just a art, but it is precise union of art and science. So the scientific part of coffee is something that we do as professionals, but I would want to also see the artistic part. That is where I and my thought as my individual come into picture. And let's see how this coffee tastes. So first things first, we are going to dose a coffee. Let's use a hand grinder. I guess I was lazy enough to not clean this after my morning coffee. So just let me quickly clean this. So this is not going to be edited, because I want you all to see that all the YouTube videos need not be very, very professional, or I would say refined. It's fine to make mistakes, guys. So Uh, about grinding coffee, I have a fellow ODE with me, but I would prefer to use a hand grinder today just to see what happens. So this is a Time C2, and I'm going to go for 14 clicks on this. So let's count the clicks. We start from 0, that is the tightermost position. Then we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We've got it. As I said, I'm taking 15 grams in. I also want to see how this coffee grinds. The harder the coffee it feels, that is either the coffee is roasted lightly or it is very, very dense. So grinding the coffee manually is going to tell me a lot of things about this coffee itself. This rest of the coffee goes back into the bag so that I don't waste any freshness of this coffee, because that's the last thing I want to see happening. But again, sorting the coffee is very, very essential. Always remember, ziplock it well, remove the air, and your coffee life is going to get a lot better. 15 grams. Yeah, coffee is not that difficult to grind. I'm able to continue a motion as I am grinding. I think you guys might not be able to hear me, so let me just finish the grinding first. So as I'm grinding this coffee is taking me directly to my childhood. So this is something very unique, I would say, that is happening right now. Is I'm smelling milk chocolate, but not of those expensive, higher quality, or what you say, those type of milk chocolates. But what I smell is, if you guys ever had Milo in milk, so that was a chocolate drink that we used to drink as kids. So this thing smells like Milo, which I'm really happy about. I'm going to get rid of the chair I'm sitting on. So the things are quite impromptu in this place. I was not actually ready to, start a professional channel as such. But again, guys, coffee we have to just make how it works. The water temperature is set to 95. So this is something, when you boil your water and you leave it for 20 to 30 seconds on your table or your counter, that is approximately the temperature that you can achieve. So let's do it. Let's brew the coffee. Too white, too white, too white. I have to get good at my photography skills also. But yeah, who cares? V60 paper. I know my head is, I'm way too tall for this camera. But yeah. Always remember to clean your papers, because that is also going to determine how good your coffee tastes. In some cases we don't clean the paper, but in some cases we do. What are those? I'll leave it for some other session or other video for us to discover. I'll just leave it, yeah, way too better. I know it's popping in the camera or it's in the frame, but that's fine. So, having OCD is another thing. So yeah, now it's better. And again, this channel is intended to be very, very raw. So you would be seeing me doing all sorts of things. And please bear with me, because this is exactly how I want you all to see. This is exactly how I am in real life. So I want to portray the same thing on YouTube, and I want it to be very, very personal. I would say that each of my subscribers connect to me. And guys, if you're in Pune, you can come and have a cup of coffee with me. That is also the part and parcel of this YouTube channel. All you have to do is hit me up on Instagram or on my LinkedIn, and I would be happy to call you over for a cup of coffee, because guys, we keep getting coffees all the time, and it's really amazing. The coffee tastes better when you share it with everyone. So yeah, I've got a bit hot water ready, so at least I'll start with the cleaning part of it. Done. So cleaning does two things. First is heat up my system. So the coffee, the water is currently at say 75, 78. So that's quite warm enough for me to work on my thermodynamics of my coffee brewer, for the lack of better words. But yeah, once I'm done with this, I'm going to pour the coffee. I don't know why, but I prefer doing this always, WDT. There is something very satisfactory about spreading your coffee grounds evenly before you pour them into the vessel or your brewer or your coffee maker. Yep, brilliant. So let's keep this bad boy aside. I'm not sure how the audio is right now. I'm trying to figure things out as we do this live. So You guys also, if could, give me some feedbacks on how the audio quality is, what you would want to see more on this channel, because currently I'm just posting all my latte art journey, and I think that I would continue for quite some time more. But apart from latte art, if you want to see any specific thing, I would be delighted to do it for you all. It's just you just guys have to tell me what you want to see, what you want me to talk about. Do you want to know about coffee shop setups, cafe setups, how to set up a coffee house, how to choose your machinery? We do that day in, day out. So, my primary job is of a coffee consultant. So, if you want to know more about that, discuss more about it. If you are a budding entrepreneur and you want to know if this coffee industry is correct for you, we can have a dedicated live sessions for such events or such discussions. So guys, just hit me up in the comment. And as the water is heating, I would just want you all to do one simple thing. If you see a subscribe button, just click on the subscribe button, double tap on the screen so that I get a like. Each and every like is a motivating factor for me, so make sure you motivate me enough. And yeah, we have got 95. Okay, so as I said, the first pour would be a 60 grams for a minute. So that's what we are going to pour now. Yep, we have hit the 60-gram marker. Gentle swirl just to make sure all the coffee grounds are wet, because I don't want to leave off any coffee grounds for a later extraction, which would hamper my cup quality per se, and also avoids a bit of channeling, so my water doesn't flow through the area of least resistance and it does touch each and every part of the coffee bed. We are at 48 seconds and 10 seconds for the minute marker where we pour our final weight. I'm assuming the brew time to be somewhere around, say, 3.5 minutes to 4 minutes. So let's see, here we are. Let's go. Now I'm doing a final gentle pour of 300 grams total weight. The first thing that I can smell from this coffee as I brew it is dominant milk chocolate, something like Bonvita or Milo. And that also I get a little roasty smell out of this. So the possibilities are that I'm brewing the coffee way too early. The coffee has not rested enough. So how I like to approach a coffee bag is I brew it every alternate day to get an idea how the things turn around with each day progressing. I'm getting a little hint of herbaceous notes. I would say a little acidity, a little citric acid per se. I think this coffee needs a little more time to open up, but let me pull up my chair so that we can sit and have a conversation over this cup of coffee. I need to get a bar stool, right? So yeah, as the coffee is brewing, we are around 2 minutes 45 seconds now. So I think 3.5 minutes should be the correct time for the coffee to get ready. Again, I'm not playing with this coffee much, though I would be doing it on a later part. But what I see from this coffee, I'm expecting the coffee to be very, very clean, very gentle. I am not a big fan of experimental funky coffees. So the coffee that pleases me is a very basic coffee, a coffee that is clean, which has a hint of acidity but a not dominant acidity, and also a cup that I can drink multiple times. Drinking those highly acidic coffees, the biggest challenge that I face is that I can't drink it more than one cup a day. Yep, 3 minutes 43 seconds, and we have got our brew time finished. So, voila, the time guess is correct. Uh, okay, so as I said, let's do a double brew, double tasting. I would say double tasting. We brew or we, pour this over in a sensory glass. I'll use a Pinot. So this would be our first cup. And I would want my other cup to be a simple cappuccino cup. Just a bit here. Yep, here we are. So I've got this beautiful coasters from Badra Estate, if you can see. Yeah, does the job. It feels great. So one cup here. I'll try to get a better angle next time. So before I do anything else, I would want the coffee to cool down a bit because I don't want to burn myself up right now. Uh, since I'm suffering from a bit of cold, so I won't rely much on my senses right now. I'm just going to rawly check how the coffee tastes. Okay, a lot of interesting things going on in the cup. The first thing first, I feel the coffee needs some more time to rest. It's going to develop better flavors. The body or the viscosity of the coffee is that of a tea, I would say a chamomile tea. So something around a low heavy body is what I'm seeing here. Let's check in this specific cup. Yep. So the thing that is happening right now inside this coffee is I'm getting a certain flatness, a certain hollowness in the coffee, which we should always remember that the coffee has not rested well. If you try any freshly roasted coffee, this is something that might end up in your cup. I'll just pull this here for the aesthetics. Uh, the flatness would eventually go away, developing a more colorful, a more a wholesome experience inside the cup. But currently, the coffee is flavorless. I would be very honest to say that, and it's not bad. It tastes like a hot tea that I'm drinking with a gentle bitterness. Though a noticeable thing here is the bitterness is very low. So I have high hopes from this coffee. Again, would I like to drink this coffee in this specific stage itself? Yes, I can have this coffee. Should I expect something great when I'm using such a fresh roast coffee? Not really. But the last sample that we tried from this specific estate and the same roaster and the same roasting machine, the coffee had a beautiful acidity, which when I say beautiful is very subtle. Uh, the body was kind of medium, the heaviness was medium on my tongue, on my palate, and the coffee was something that I consumed as a pre-workout. So it was something that I woke up early before my gym to do specifically. That is to brew my cup of coffee, which is a good sign, I would say. because that is something I do when I really like the cup quality or the coffee that I'm tasting. But for now, I would want this coffee to rest a bit more. Uh, I would be uploading a lot of videos of this specific coffee brewing, and let's see how does this coffee react as we progress each and every day. Uh, so let's see. Let's do a wholesome analysis of this coffee. Uh, Again, no defective flavors as such yet. The coffee, can I drink it like this? Of course, I would. I'm going to finish this cups right now. And but I am sure, I'm pretty sure that this coffee can develop great flavors. Can be a really good espresso coffee. So I do have a flair at my place. So maybe our next live, we would be pulling out espresso from this coffee. So until that time, guys, do subscribe to my channel. Let me know what you want to know more about. Would you want me to review a specific product? Would you want me to tell about a specific coffee, or maybe show a specific brewing method, or whatever is needed for making your life easier, making your life simple, and making your journey into coffee industry or your coffee world flawless? So until next time, guys, keep drinking coffee, keep exploring, and do subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell icon. We are on Instagram by the same name, Anabolic Coffee. So do check us out there itself. And yeah, have a good evening and a great cup of coffee. Thank you.